Most people think transformation happens in one single moment. A decision, a breakdown, a rock-bottom scene straight out of a movie, and suddenly, everything's different. It doesn't work like that. Real transformation doesn't happen in a moment. It happens in the quiet mornings when nobody's watching. It happens in the small, unglamorous choice to get up anyway, when staying in bed would have been so much easier. Today, we're talking about what it actually looks like to become a new version of yourself, because it's nothing like what you've been picturing. And if you're in the middle of that process right now, wondering if any of it is even working, stay till the end, because this one might be exactly what you need to hear today. If content like this helps you, subscribe, because we're going to keep having these honest conversations. Here's the myth everybody buys into, that change happens overnight. That one day you're one person and the next day you wake up completely transformed. That's not how it works. And honestly, believing that lie is one of the main reasons people give up so early. Real change isn't a lightning strike. It's compound interest. It happens when you choose discipline over excuses, not once, but over and over, in moments nobody else ever sees. It happens when you say no to old habits that used to feel so comfortable, even when saying yes would have been so much easier in that exact moment. It happens when you keep showing up even though nobody's clapping for you. No applause, no witnesses, just you and the choice again and again. Becoming a new version of yourself was never about changing everything overnight. It's about making one slightly better decision today than the one you made yesterday. That's it. That's the whole formula. Not perfect, not dramatic, just slightly better, repeated enough times that it eventually adds up to something unrecognizable from where you started. And here's something worth sitting with for a second. The strongest people you know aren't the ones who never fail. Everybody fails. Everybody has bad days, bad weeks, entire stretches where they slide backward. What actually separates people isn't the absence of failure. It's what happens right after it. The strongest people are simply the ones who refuse to stay the same version of themselves after a failure. They fall down, and then they get back up slightly wiser than before. That's the entire difference. If you're still with me, ask yourself something honestly. When was the last time you failed at something and used it as proof you should quit instead of using it as information about what to adjust? Here's what nobody tells you about this process. You don't need everyone's approval to keep going. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone watching or not watching from the sidelines. You only need to become a little better than the person you were yesterday. That's the only comparison that actually matters. Not someone else's timeline, not someone else's highlight reel, just yesterday's version of you, and whether today's version did something that version couldn't or wouldn't, or didn't have the discipline to do yet. There will be days, probably a lot of them, when it feels like nothing is changing at all. You'll do the work and look in the mirror and feel exactly the same as you did last week. That feeling is normal, and it's also deeply misleading, because change at this stage is almost never visible from the inside. Roots grow in silence, underground, in the dark, long before anyone ever sees a tree touching the sky. Nobody stands around watching roots grow. They just trust that the growing is happening, even without proof, and they keep watering anyway. Your future is quietly being built right now, today, by choices that feel too small to matter. Every workout you didn't feel like doing, every book you read instead of scrolling, every difficult conversation you finally had instead of avoiding, every single promise you made to yourself and actually kept, especially the small ones, especially when nobody would have known if you'd broken it. None of those moments feel significant while they're happening, but they're not separate from your future. They are your future, just not finished yet. One day, and you don't get to know exactly when, people are going to look at where you ended up and call it success. They'll see the outcome and assume it happened quickly or easily, or that you were simply lucky. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was never one dramatic moment. It was hundreds, maybe thousands of invisible decisions that nobody else was ever around to witness. So if life feels slow right now, if your progress feels invisible or even non-existent some days, if you're lying awake questioning whether any of this is actually working, remember this, and I mean actually let it land. You are not behind, you are becoming. Those are two completely different things, and confusing one for the other is what makes people quit right before the part where it would have started showing. Keep working, even on the days it feels pointless. Keep learning, even when progress feels impossibly slow. Keep growing, quietly, without needing anyone to notice yet. Because here's the truth underneath all of this. The world doesn't actually need a perfect version of you. Perfect was never the goal, and chasing it will only exhaust you. What the world needs, what your future actually needs, is the authentic version of you that simply refused to give up, even on the days when giving up would have been so much easier to justify. So tell me honestly in the comments, what's one small, invisible decision you've made recently that nobody else even noticed, but that you know mattered? If this reached you at the right moment today, like this video, share it with someone who's quietly in the middle of becoming someone new, and subscribe because we'll keep talking about the parts of growth nobody else shows you. I'm working on a new me too, and honestly, that's enough for today.